Alright, hello and welcome Killer Off-Road Hobbies fans. Today we are going to be putting together the Kyosho OutLaw Rampage Pro 2-wheel drive, 1/10 scale trophy truck. Now this isn't going to be a crazy in-depth, every nuts, screw and bolt type video. Basically I'm just going to kind of go over the basics because I really press for time and I want to get this thing put together. So right here, it tells you to, because this is the 70% kit, by the way. So it tells you that you go through step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, through 17 or whatever. But you won't be doing every single thing in this build. Like it just has, where's the symbol? So it has a little symbol like this right here. See, it has 70% kit. And then it points at it. So that's what you got to look for. And the first thing it wants to do is to put all the stuff on the servo and then install the servo and all of that junk. But you only have to do, when you get this kit, like I said, you only have to do the things that has the little 70% kit with the finger pointing at the number. So basically I'm going to crack open the servo. I'm going to open bag number 1. And I'll show you guys as soon as I pretty much get it installed in the truck and tell you how it went and everything. This build manual seems to be pretty good, but it is kind of odd, you know, to kind of jump around like I'm going to have to. So I'm normally used to just going step, 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 but this is a 70% kit, so you know it is going to be a little bit different than normal. All right, let's get to it. So you basically just, you know, do the 2.5 millimeters on the little arm that goes to the servo and to the steering link. And you just kind of do this. I mean, the servo I bought came with a servo horn, but I wasn't sure if it would fit in here. So I just went with all the stock stuff. And here it is in there. You know, pretty easy. You just put 2 screws, one through here, one through there, and then 2 screws through the bottom. Get this thing turned over right there. It was super simple. So now we'll move on to the next one, which is we already installed the servo, and then now we just got to put the little plate on, just 2 screws, and then we'll move to the next step. All right, everybody, we're on step number 4, and basically the last step, step number 3, was just putting that little plastic piece on. It's just 3 screws, one there, and one through the shock tower. So basically it's just kind of like a shock tower brace. Now it's calling for us to open bag 2, which I did, which is all this stuff right here. And we do have a pinion. I'm super stoked about that. That's awesome. So what it's calling for me to do right now is to actually put the motor in. So I'm going to break open this easy run combo that I got, and basically just put the motor on, put the pinion on it, and then put the slipper clutch cover and stuff on. And then I'll show you after those steps are done. And then 5 isn't on this page, so we'll be skipping all the rest of this. This is basically the only step we're doing, is putting the motor on, putting the pinion on, which it says it's a 16 tooth pinion, which is pretty cool. And then just putting the door on the slipper clutch and stuff. So I just wanted to show you guys what I got. I got the 3652 3300 kV motor. I got the Max 10 Easy Run ESC that is 60 amps, and it's waterproof, and it's 2 and 3S capable, which should be plenty. This combo should be plenty for this little truck. Alright, so I got the motor in there, the gear mesh set, and I put the little cap on the slipper clutch. I'll have to adjust that later because I can't like stop the transmission from spinning without having the tires on it. But now all I do is take the one little screw and this little cap to go over the pinion to basically kind of seal this all up. It just takes one little screw in that hole right there. And then we'll be on to the next step. Okay, so now, hopefully you guys can see that. I'll get it up here in the light. It wanted me to mount my receiver down in there and put a battery in here. And basically, so you mount it down in there, and then it wants you to take this and put your ESC on this flat spot right here, as you can see by these instructions. So this is this piece right here, which is 0L0, well it's OL007-2, so that's this guy. And I want you to put your ESC on this flat spot and then run your wires down through here and into the receiver, and I want you to run your servo wire up and over this side, I think. Let me look at it. Yeah. And then run it down into the receiver. And then it gives you this little bag of hardware right here too. So I'm going to go ahead and run all the wiring and get this in here, and I want you to keep a battery in here while you put this in to make sure it fits. Alright, so I got my ESC mounted, and there's just 6 screws that go in that, so that's not a big deal. But my motor wires are not going to reach there, so I might actually just remount my ESC right here. I have to see like how long stuff is. I might have to make extensions for these to make it to the motor, but this is a censored motor, and that sensor wire is not going to stretch all the way down there to the motor. So I think I'm going to relocate this up here. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little further into this build before I actually do that though. So I might just relocate that to this pad right here. It'll kind of leave it exposed, but I mean, it's waterproof and everything. And like I said in the first lick video, I don't plan on like just completely beating the junk out of this truck. One thing I do want to note though, on the 70% kit, I haven't put them back in yet, but to get that little receiver box thing in there, you have to lift this back cage up. And the way you do that is you take these 2 screws out. So the screw out of there and the screw out of there. That way you can lift it up. I'm not going to do that just yet because I might be pulling that back out to relocate the ESC. But the next step is number 8. And basically it just wants you to fill your shocks with oil and put the bleeder screws in and bleed your shocks and stuff. So we're going to do that. That's bag 3. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up, get all the shocks filled. They're already pre-assembled, so you don't have to assemble them. But we'll get them filled, we'll get the bleeder screws in there, and we'll get them all ready to put in the truck. Alright everybody, it's starting to take shape. We got the shocks put on here. I just put them on exactly how the manual says. And I just used the stock shock oil too, because I think this thing will perform pretty well just how it comes stock. So yeah, so basically I just filled the shocks with the shock oil. I used the screws that they said, and I put them in the locations that they told me to, and it's starting to take shape. I am going to have to relocate my ESC because these wires just won't, they're not long enough. I'm not sure if I can put it right here though, so I'm just gonna have to wait on that. So I'll just wait on the ESC situation, and we'll just jump over to the next step for the 70% kit, which nothing on this page, nothing on this page, and nothing on this page. Still a good thing about this 70% kit. Alright, so it wants me to do the body, which I'm going to wait on the body. I'll do that last. But you have some cage structure. It looks like you have to build into the body. So that's pretty cool. We'll figure that out. Yep. Okay, so it looks like I should be able to mount the ESC right in the middle. So that'll be nice. It's basically just calling to put the tires on now and the body. So what I'll do is I'm going to put the front and rear tires on it, and then I don't know, I don't want to do the body yet. I'm going to wait on the body. Okay, so I'm going to put the tires on, and then I'll show you after that. Okay everybody, so tires are on, and I relocated the ESC, and this is where I'm going to leave the build video, because I don't want to steal the surprise of what this thing's going to look like in the first look video. Instead of being the kit, it'll be the actual truck. But I do want to go over a couple things I've seen already. This thing has an incredible amount of bump steer. Look at that. The tires just rock out. I don't think that's going to be overly horrible. And the chassis doesn't bottom out. Not even close. There's like half an inch under there. You see that? That's pretty crazy. So this thing is definitely not going to be a huge air type thing. All in all, the plastics feel, I will say, pretty good. I don't think they're excellent, but I don't think they're horrible. And another thing I'd like to point out for you guys is you don't have to run this dual spare tire setup in the rear. You can run a single with this 12mm hex right here. And it does come with a screw that allows you to go ahead and do that. You know, if you want to save on weight in the back. But I got to put my connectors on it, and I got to do the battery. I'm going to fine tune, run my wiring, just kind of figure it out. But I just want to show you guys, like, this is basically all I had to do to get this thing ready to go. I mean, the receiver's in there, the servo's hooked up, the ESC's hooked up. All I got to do is put my connector on here, and then I'll be able to fire this thing up and run with it. Now, the body does have a little bit of work you have to do to it, but it's super simple. This manual, I didn't think it was going to be that good at first, but it's actually really good. And you do get a couple tools. You don't get that. But you do get these tools right here. So if you didn't have your own tools, you could actually build this thing with just these 4 tools right here. All right, everybody. I hope this was informative and or entertaining. If it was, please hit that thumbs up. If it wasn't, hit that thumbs down. And subscribe if you're new here. And the first look video of this truck actually completely done will be coming up very soon. All right, everybody, click that bell, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Until then, peace.